Mike Arnstein here from the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and you're watching Fruit Living on YouTube.
Fruitarian, living lifestyle. Learn about the benefits and start now. Eating from the vine and feeling divine. Fruit living with nature's design.
What's up guys, you're in my kitchen right now, and if you're not subscribed to this channel already, hit the red subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up right off the bat as well. I'd really appreciate that. Today is day 9 of Melon Island, and the plan was to go for 30 days, but I'm feeling good now. I'm feeling clean, I'm feeling pure, I'm feeling high, like I'm on some drug. Like earlier today I thought I was on caffeine as I was walking to the gym, and I was like, I haven't drank any caffeine, I haven't had any tea or coffee or anything. Like, why do I feel so high? And it's just like the body is releasing energy, right? We don't get energy, we release it. And when we create the environment within ourselves to release energy, we're gonna have more energy. That's what I love about the fruitarian diet. Like, one of the top 4 benefits of the fruitarian diet is just more energy. The body can release more energy so much easier. The other benefits, the other 4 benefits, or the other 3 benefits would be deeper sleeps, much deeper sleeps on a raw vegan diet. Another benefit would be more stable moods and higher vibrational moods. When we eat high vibrational foods, we experience high vibrational moods. That's why it's important to eat your fruit raw. It's important to eat it local, if possible. It's important to eat juicy fruits so that the electricity can be more conducive throughout the body, right? Electricity flows where there's water. If something's really dry, the electricity doesn't flow as much. If the food is completely dead, the electricity isn't even there to begin with. So if you're gonna have raw food, make sure it's juicy. Try not to have dried fruit or dried foods at all, really. If you are gonna have dried foods, it's best to rehydrate them and soak them up and then blend them up and drink them. But the other benefit of a raw vegan diet is just smoother digestion. So those are the 4 benefits right there. More energy, better sleeps, better moods, and smoother digestion. My digestion has been really smooth, like really quick, really effortless on a melon diet. It already is really smooth and effortless and quick on a fruit diet, but on a melon diet, it's much more liquid. It's just like, done. To bulk it up a bit more, instead of having just watermelon, I'll have some cucumbers and then I'll create some thickness there. But still, it's way more watery than if I were to have some bananas or avocados in my diet. Now, I said I was gonna do 30 days on this diet, but I think I'm gonna do just 10 or maybe 11 days. I like the number 11, so maybe I'll go boom boom, just do 11 days on the Melon Island, because I'm so much skinnier now. I've lost 10 pounds since I got back from Canada. I've lost 5 pounds in 9 days on a melon diet here. And I don't want to lose weight. I like to have more weight, more size on me. It feels good to be skinny, I suppose, but it's a different kind of good feeling when you're big and strong. So I like to go to the gym these days. I like to be big and strong, and just knowing that I can drop 5 pounds in 9 days anytime I want by eating unlimited melons, that's amazing to know. Like, I'm no longer worried about, oh, what if I gain a whole bunch of weight on avocados and dates and bananas and then I can't reverse it. You can reverse weight gain so easily just by focusing on melons. Eat unlimited melons, I dare you. Eat unlimited melons and see how much weight that you lose. People who are saying sugar makes you fat, that if you eat too much sugar you're gonna gain weight, well, it is true. If you eat too much, you will gain weight. But sugar in small amounts, in appropriate amounts, won't make you gain weight, it won't make you fat. But if you're having too much of anything, of course it will. But try to have too much watermelon. It's impossible, your body just shuts off. There's a hunger shutoff signal. Unlike with any other food, with fruit, there's a hunger shutoff signal, especially with juicy fruit. Juicy fruit like peaches, nectarines, and pears and apricots and watermelons and mangoes and papayas. Try to overeat on those fruits, please. You won't be able to. It's just the body shuts off the hunger signal. It just shuts it off. It satisfies it very easily. With things like dates and bananas and avocados, it's a lot easier to bypass that hunger signal. It's a lot easier to overeat. But still, you've got to put in the effort day in, day out, day in, day out if you want to gain weight on a fruit diet. To lose it though, it's so easy. Just be in tune with your body, eat what you want, when you want, if you want, how you want, and you're gonna lose the weight. It's just gonna come off until you get to a certain weight that you're able to maintain throughout the year. So I'm not sure if I kept eating the way I'm eating now for the next 30 days, or I guess for another 21 days, because I'm on day 9 now, 21 plus 9 is 30, I would probably get below 140. I'd probably be in the 130s, and I just don't want to go back down there. You know, I built myself up to be 160 pounds, 162 pounds in Hawaii, with a lot of hard work, a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of eating, and I just want more size, at least for the next year or two of my life, just to see what it feels like to be a lot bigger and stronger as a fruitarian. I've played the skinny game. I've been a triathlete for 7 years. I've been super lean, super skinny, and had major endurance, be able to go for 11 hours non-stop, do these 40-hour training weeks, super lightweight, and now I want to see what it feels like to bulk up a bit and put on some size and get really strong in the gym. So I'm glad I came into this 30-day thing thinking I was going to do 30 days. It set me up for success big time. I stocked up on everything. But what I found is that I just had no appetite. My body is just like, dude, if you're gonna eat juicy fruit, then you're just not gonna eat that much and you're gonna lose a lot of weight. And my body likes that for sure. Your body's always trying to reach homeostasis. Always trying to reach that low stress mode. So it's doing what it wants to do. But I've got other goals, other visions, other priorities that I want to tend to. And losing weight is not one of them. If your priority is to lose weight, I highly recommend Melon Island, man. Eat as much melon as you can throughout each day. And if you don't feel like eating, don't eat. Straight up. If you don't feel like eating, don't eat. And if you are having cravings or other things for other foods, just have some melon. Have some cucumber, have some cantaloupe, have some honeydew, have some watermelon, have some Santa Claus melon, have some other rock melons. There's so many types of melons that you can have out there. Orange flesh honeydew. But what I'm saying is that I think I'm going to go for another couple days. I'll go tomorrow and the next day, bang out 11 days, and then return to the land of fruit, return to the land of variety. Like the cherries are coming in soon, the peaches and nectarines are going to be coming in soon. It'd be nice to have an avocado as well. I really like avocados. It'd be nice to have whatever else is local and in season here. Some apples. It'd be nice to have apples. I'm just looking at other fruits. I'm just like, wow, it'd be nice to have some of that. So yeah, if the melons were really, really, really good and I was able to have a whole bunch of them, I think this would be a lot easier. But when I started this thing like 9 days ago, I thought the melons were going to keep coming in more and more and get better and better and better. But the melon situation is like, well, they're just imported melons. They're pretty good melons. They're good enough for me to want to go 11 days on, but they're not local enough and they're not like mind-blowingly enough quality, and they're not consistent enough for me to want to stay on this diet, no problem, for the next 30 days. So I went to the gym today and I lifted as heavy as I could, and it wasn't as strong as I was 2 weeks ago when I was 6 pounds heavier or so. So yeah, I want to keep going to the gym, I want to keep pushing hard, and I don't want to continue to lose weight. But if weight loss, like I said, if weight loss is your goal, detox is your vision, if detox and regenerating and alkalizing your body is what you want to do, then a melon fast is the easiest way to do it, man. The easiest way to do it. And if you want some more inspiration on a fruitarian diet, I highly recommend you check out the most inspirational interview I have ever listened to in my life. This is the interview that I probably listened to like 9 times when I first got into raw veganism, like whatever it was, 8 years ago or something. I listened to this thing over and over and over and over and over again because I was like, this is so inspiring. I send it to people, I listen to it again, send it to people, listen to it again. And I just dug it up the other day. It's from my friend Mike Arnstein when he first got into raw, and he's just like killing it, man. He's killing it with the raw vegan scene back in the day there. And he got so inspired by the power of the fruitarian diet, he started the Woodstock Fruit Festival, one of the biggest fruit festivals in the world. The biggest, not one of the biggest fruit fest in the world. And that's in New York. It's happening this summer again for like the 6th or 7th year in a row. And it's, I think, costs like about $1,000, but you get your accommodation paid for, you get all the activities paid for, you get food paid for, you get all your friends paid for. You know, you don't need to pay to make friends there. Once you're there, you make all the friends you want. I've met the love of my life there. I've met my best friends. I've made connections around the world there. As a result of going there, I've made, it's made it possible for me to travel around the world, hop city to city, country to country, and just have someone in each place who's like, hey Teddy, you can come stay with me because I met you at this Woodstock Fruit Festival, or met you at another festival, but mostly all happens at Woodstock Fruit Festival. So if you guys are free at the end of August, I think it's August 20th to the 27th, definitely come to the Woodstock Fruit Festival. You can check out the link in the description. And if you're not in America and you're in Europe and you're in Denmark or Amsterdam or the UK, then also check out the links in the description and you'll find some events there happening. Also, I'll be there and kicking some arse in July and August there in Europe. So yeah, you guys want to hang out in Denmark or Amsterdam or UK, hit me up and we'll do it out. But yeah, I'll let you guys listen to this interview with Mike. It's amazing. It's good stuff. And hope to see you in the summer. And thanks for watching day 9 of Melon Island. It wasn't a vlog because I didn't feel like vlogging today. I just been doing a lot of work on the computer and yeah, just enjoying a day finally back home, my full day back home. I got home yesterday from the cabin and I just wanted to chill today and just, not chill, but I had work to do, really, I had work to do. I had to catch up on work. When you don't work for 4 days, you have to catch up. So today was catch up day. Still is catch up day, I gotta go put in another hour. But anyways, peace, much love.
Michael, how long have you been vegan, and how long have you been raw vegan, and what were those transitions like?
Well, to kind of give a real fast summary, I started eliminating what I would consider unhealthy foods at the age of 16. I just cut out red meat, didn't eat red meat for a couple of years, and I cut out chicken and fish, let's say, in my early 20s. Then pretty much every year on January 1st, I would always have a New Year's resolution of cutting out something that I felt that wasn't optimal for me. So by the time I was 26 or 27, I was pretty much completely vegan, no dairy, no egg products, no eggs. I was just basically eating cooked vegan diet at the age of 27. And then I guess when I was 30, I'm 30, almost 33 now. When I was 30, just turned 31, I started up on the 80-10-10 or the low-fat raw vegan diet. So I've been eating only low-fat raw fruits and vegetables for almost 2 years now.
And you told me before we started here that you've tried many different diets and variations on diets. What prompted you to keep changing your diet, and like how did you finally come to the raw vegan diet?
Well, I've been running competitively since I was a teenager, 13 years old or so, and my quest was always how to perform better. I thought came down to diet, and then I figured out that it's not just diet, it's not just your training, it's diet, it's training, it's rest. The only way to get better is to do absolutely nothing. Rest is very important too. So there's a lot of factors. And one of the things I figured out with lots of trial and error is that body weight or fat composition was really a huge factor in performance. In a hot environment, if you have higher body fat, you're not going to be able to cool nearly as well as the next guy. I mean, just talking about physics, something that weighs less uses less energy and has less resistance to go faster. So most people think, doing really hard workouts is the only way to get better. I usually don't do a hard workout. I wouldn't do a hard workout until I was down to a certain body weight. So the only way I was able to really get down to what I would consider a very good body weight or low body fat composition, eating my cooked diet, was basically do a calorie restrictive diet. And that does make you lose weight. You will lose body fat if you don't eat, if you physically just cut your calories down. And a lot of people have had success on Atkins, and I did a vegetable protein Atkins diet for a number of months, where I would just basically drink vegetable protein shakes. And I lost a lot of body fat. I got really low body fat composition, and I started to run much faster, and I was still eating cooked vegetables. The problem was when I figured out that body composition or body weight was such a major factor in performance, there's other factors that come into play that can work against you. If you work out a lot and you're not eating enough calories, or you're not eating the right foods, you're going to start to become deficient in a lot of things, and you're going to put yourself at risk of injury. So when I did the Atkins diet, even though I was vegan Atkins, after about 3 months on that diet, I got to a very low body weight, very low fat weight, running very fast, set new PRs in the marathon by a big margin. My tibia broke. I had a severe stress fracture, and I basically couldn't run for a year. So after that, I kind of gave up on calorie restrictive diets. Said, The only way to get really light is to just eat less. What I learned about Dr. Graham's diet, it's not Dr. Graham's diet, it's a low-fat, raw vegan diet, and there's plenty of people that come out before Dr. Graham and talked up this diet, this basically natural hygiene diet, is that with fruits and vegetables, you can pretty much eat as much as you want. You can eat a lot of calories, and you're not going to put on body fat, not in any type of way that you will with cooked foods. And you don't have the food addictions when you eat a low-fat, raw vegan diet. When you eat just fruits and vegetables, your taste buds change. There's all these physiological and emotional adaptations that take place. You're in control of yourself completely. I've not run into any kind of issues with stress fractures, any type of injuries at all. And I'm not eating a calorie restrictive diet ever. On the contrary, I eat so much, it's almost freakish. And that's part of the diet. If you're an athlete, you're an elite athlete, you can maintain very low body fat while still eating a tremendous amount of calories and being satisfied, and maintain a very low body weight or body fat composition. So now I've set all new PRs well beyond my vegan Atkins diet routine, and I am not injured ever. I haven't been injured. I haven't been sick. I haven't had a cold. I have no mucus. I mean, there's just the benefits are just incredibly long and vast, and they just keep getting better and better. I thought I had reached or experienced all the benefits within the first 2 or 3 months, but now, after almost 2 years, I'm new and improved things are happening to me all the time. It's a diet that it blows me away that this is not mainstream in high elite athletics, that more people aren't doing this. And I think the only reason more people aren't doing this is because people have psychological and emotional food addictions that they cannot give up on. And so that's the major challenge in this diet that people really have to come to terms with if they're going to do it seriously.
And what might those emotional, psychological addictions look like and feel like? What are they?
Well, I'm going to use an example which I would say people might feel is extreme or radical, but I think some people might be able to really identify with it. So there's somebody who's been experienced or knows a little bit about addiction. Let's use a familiar addiction. Let's say cigarette addiction or alcohol addiction or even something as simple as coffee addiction. People don't realize how insidious addictions are and how much they influence everything they do from day to day. There's very few people that casually smoke. There's very few people that casually have coffee. There's very few people that are alcoholics that casually drink. Now, there are exceptions, but generally speaking, when people are addicted to something, they do it often and they do it a lot. And cooked food, most people would say, it's crazy for me to say that cooked food is an addiction, but I really believe that. Look at the dollar menu in fast food. This food is made to be addictive. It is a profitable business. People stand in line to buy this food. It is not healthy. It's proven to be unhealthy. It's not good for you in any way. It might be cheap today, but you are going to give every penny that you have in your life when you get older to the hospitals and to the doctors when you're sick from eating this food. Same thing happens with smoking. Yet people still do it. It doesn't make any logical sense. That is addiction. Cooked foods are addictive. Even a sweet potato. Yes, even a sweet potato. A hot sweet potato has addictive, I would say, characteristics over a fresh orange or any other natural fruit or vegetable. Most people just won't eat a sweet potato. They'll put butter on it, or they'll put brown sugar in it, or if it's a regular potato, they'll put salt on it, or they'll put seasonings and spices and herbs. And they're chasing stimulation. And that's what people can't give up. Eating, for most people, is not about nutrition. It's about stimulus. And most people even if they recognize it, as I do, and as I do very well, it's very difficult to give up on it, as it's very difficult to give up on cigarettes or coffee or alcohol. Once you have one cigarette or one drink of alcohol or one cup of coffee, it creates a snowball effect. You want to eat more of it, and you can't stop. And recovering alcoholics have a saying, one is too many, and 1,000 is not enough. And it's the same thing with cooked foods. If you don't decide that you are going to eat a natural, species-specific diet, which I believe is raw fruits and vegetables, and nothing else, no condiments, no salts, no spices, unless you give it everything you have, and you say, I'm not going to cheat, I'm not going to go and have things once in a while, you will never eat this diet and stay on this diet, because you can't have, a casual smoker can't just have one cigarette. They have a pack a day, and it usually starts out at 1 or 2, 3, 4, and then they're smoking 2 packs a day, or alcoholics don't, become, binge drinkers overnight when they're in the bar every day. It happens over years. And just look at anybody who's over 50 years old walking down the street. They weren't all fat. They didn't start out that way, but they become that way. They develop that way. You look at anybody who eats a low-fat, raw vegan diet, whether they're 15, 20, or 60 years old, they're going to maintain a low body fat composition. Their waist size is going to be the same. Their emotional state is going to be the same. Everything about them is going to be maintained because the diet is a natural species-specific diet. We were made to eat fruits and vegetables, low fat. And I really get it. And that's why, even though I have emotional and psychological desires for cooked food or for Thanksgiving dinner or Sunday morning brunch or whatever holiday or, whatever other season it is or event, whether you go to the baseball game and you want to get Cracker Jacks, you have to let these things go because I know intuitively that they're not going to be good for me. And if I have one, it's not going to be enough. And then I'll be back to where I was on a yo-yo diet, binge eating, and not being healthy. So it's a lifestyle beyond anything else, this type of diet.
What sort of strategies, or how do you deal with those cravings? What do you do in your mind to deal with those cravings?
That's a very good question. And when I first started on this diet, I was very excited about it because intellectually I knew this was home base. I knew that this was absolutely optimal if I could do it. So there's lots of ways to get away from being in those positions where you can't resist something or where you have a craving and you can't deal with it. One of the very important things to do is to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. If you eat 10 bananas at one time, even after a big workout, your favorite food, let's say it's pizza or cheesecake, is not going to be as appetizing, even close to as appetizing as it was before you ate those bananas. If you are physically full, if you are satiated, you're not hungry. You won't want to eat those other things. So it's important to physically force yourself to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables because you need to take in as many calories as you can. So eat a lot. Always have food available and ready. So you want to be prepared. It's like, just think of it as a race. If you're going, you're not going to get on a 100-mile bike ride without fuel or without knowing where you're going to stop to get fuel. It would be suicide. If you don't, want to slip up when you're really giving this diet a hard, real shot, make sure you've got really high-quality food, really high-quality produce, and you have it available, and you make sure you eat a lot of it. You can't gain weight eating fruits and vegetables if you're working out. It's almost impossible. Most people will lose a tremendous amount of weight in the first 3 months, no matter how much they're eating, even if you're just eating bananas all day, which some people think are very fattening. So those are the main points. Get really high-quality produce. If you're eating crappy oranges, it's like eating soggy pizza. It's just not good no matter what it is or how hungry you are. So really high quality, get a lot of food, and have it prepared. And then, of course, If you go out to dinner with friends, and you know it's going to be really hard for you to resist eating something in the restaurant, just don't go out, or make sure you eat a ton of food before you go there, so you're really full and you're really not interested. What are
your thoughts on supplements?
Oh, supplements, yeah. Well, I before I found read Dr. Graham's book, I always thought, more is better. More supplements are better. I was one of these people that spent $500 a month at GNC, like Vitamin Shop, and I would just buy these things, take these pills and these potions and powders, and I was like everybody else. I'm embarrassed to say it. I was just looking for the silver bullet, or the special pill, or the snake oil. And if it cost $40 for the bottle of pills, it was probably better than the bottle that cost $20. And I was just an idiot, just an absolute idiot. I spent God knows how many thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars standing, looking at going through these aisles. And I used to buy all this stuff. My pee would be yellow, green, blue, you name it. I used to buy all this stuff. And I used to think, if I take, coenzyme Q10, and if I, phosphate load, and if I, do this, and if I take that, and if I try, the alpha lipoic acid, on my long runs, and I tried everything out there, bought every book on the subject. And let me tell you something. For the last 2 years, I'm taking a pill or a potion or a powder or anything, and I set new PRs across the board in every distance my entire career. And I'm in my, going into my mid-30s, where most people would say I'm past my prime. Supplements it's snake oil. It's absolutely a scam. If more was better, if you can get more, more iron in your blood, if you can get more B12, or you could get more of any supplement in you, then why don't we just eat supplements? Then why should we even eat food? We should just eat powder all day. And what's pretty funny is there's a lot of people that just eat powder all day, and it's pretty ridiculous. What I've learned over time and over experiencing for myself is that when you eat cooked food, if you eat, let's say, rice or pasta, that stuff, if you put it in a bowl and you leave it on the oven at 100 degrees for 12 hours, you know what's going to happen to that pasta and that rice, those grains? It turns into sludge. It turns into, I call it stucco. It's like, if you want to stucco a wall and you're building a project, or let's say you dump that bowl of stucco in a drain in a bathtub, and then you try to fill the bath with water. The water's not going to go out of the bath because you've got that stucco coating every, exit, or every place that the water would normally go down. When you cut out grains, when you cut out all these processed cooked foods, your intestines become like a membrane where things can pass through it, like really pass through it. Like, think of a coffee filter. If you don't have that stucco in sealing off every part of your intestine, when you eat a fruit or a vegetable or green, tender greens, your body absorbs those nutrients so quickly and so efficiently. You don't need any supplements. I ran, and I used to get scared that I'm going to be deficient in calcium, magnesium, and I'm going to get a bone fracture again eating this way. I got to supplement with something. I got these things in my head because of all the marketing and all the stuff that we learn and we read about in these magazines. It's all trash. I'm running 100 miles a week, every week. I ran. I just really pushed myself. I ran. Just to give you an example, just eating oranges, lots and lots of oranges, eating persimmons in the last few weeks. I ran pretty much. I ran the New York City Marathon in 2 hours 35 minutes. The next day felt great. And that's the subject we got to talk about is recovery on this diet. Felt great. Went out for a 30-mile run the day after the New York City Marathon. I felt so good. I ran 20 miles the day after that. Then I ran 15 miles for the next 3 days. Then the following weekend, so a week after the New York City Marathon, I ran the Harrisburg Marathon in Pennsylvania, and I came in first place, and I ran 2 hours 32 minutes. I felt fantastic. I ran the last 6 miles faster than any other miles in the entire race. I crossed the finish line, ran back to meet my wife, who was also running the marathon, ran another 5 miles, feeling great. I mean, I am not kidding. Stride perfectly intact. No supplements. 31 miles for the day. Do you know the next 3 days I ran 31 miles every day for the next 3 days after that race? Now all at once. I usually do doubles. I usually break up my runs in the morning and the evening. But I'm fresh. No stress fractures. no supplements, no cooked foods. I'm eating fruits and vegetables. And my membrane, my intestinal walls are crystal clear. I eat an orange, the vitamin C, the slight, trace of magnesium that's in there, the phosphorus, the folic acid, it goes into me because I don't have the stucco in my stomach anymore. And that's what people got to really, really just accept, that cooked food is not meant to go in your body. There's not a single animal on the planet that cooks their food except for humans. And $1 trillion of investment in medical research, into diet, and all of these things, all the research comes back to say, eat more fruits and vegetables, and eat them raw because they're better for you. If you want proof that raw fruits and vegetables is the optimal diet, look at all recorded history. Look at every animal species on the planet. They all eat raw fruits and vegetables. They're not overweight. They don't have arthritis. They all perform at the same levels. All cheetahs run about the same speed. All zebras can go about the same distance. They all weigh about the same at full adult growth. And these animals all eat the same diet. Look at humans. We're so out of shape. We're so fat. We're disastrous. We're in the hospital. We can't pay. We're a wreck. And what do we do that's different than all these other animals, all the other creatures on the planet? We just eat cooked food. You gotta just try it, people. It absolutely is the greatest thing that you'll ever find. Can't recommend it highly enough.
You mentioned recovery. Let's talk about that, because gosh, your training week sounds intense. How do you recover from all that training? And imagine you have a work life and family life as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 3 kids. I own a business. I got a number of employees. I've got a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of things to balance, and a lot of people think that exercise is recreation. Well, when I'm exercising, I'm always thinking about just about everything. I don't zone out. I zone in. Think about my diet. Think about my day. So mental clarity on this diet is just another topic to talk about. And because I recover so fast, I get to exercise more, and I get to think more, and everything in my life is improved because I'm focused when I'm out there. I'm paying attention to my life, and the recovery on this diet is just. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. This is coming from a guy who's just probably like most of the other people listening to this audio recording. You exercise a lot. You're real passionate about it. You want to learn more. It's one of the greatest things involved in in your life, and you pride yourself on your diet or on your training or on your supplement cocktails, and you really think that you got it dialed in. I think that way too. Now, I recover so fast. It's like I feel like I was a total idiot before, and I pinch myself now because I can't believe how fast I recover. It's amazing. I go for a run, and I'll come home. I'll have like 3-4 glasses of fresh squeezed Valencia orange juice, and in like 20 minutes later, I can just go do the run again. I mean, it sounds crazy. It really does. My body weight is very low. My body composition is very low. So when I run, I'm not putting undue stress on my muscles. That's number one. Number two, I'm getting my body's so clean. I sleep well. There's nothing in my body that's slowing down. When you just eat, you know how long it takes to digest orange juice? It takes 30 seconds to digest orange juice. If you eat a protein shake, it's going to take hours to digest that food. If you eat pasta, it's going to take 12 hours to get that food out of you. Your body's working hard to get that stuff out of you. If you eat garlic or, let's say things that you can't eat as a meal, your body's trying to get rid of it as soon as you put it in your body. You eat garlic, you smell like garlic instantly. Your body's trying to get rid of it. You eat a lot of salt, you sweat salt to get in your eyes. Your body's trying to get rid of the salt. It doesn't want the salt. When you just eat fruits and vegetables, your body becomes so efficient, so pure, that you recover instantly. Instead of my body working and spending so much time digesting food in my stomach, it's going to the cells in my legs and fixing, the capillaries or whatever in my muscles that need to be, improved or fixed on. It's not wasting time digesting food. So the recovery is just incredible. You have to sleep. I mean, it's not just what you eat. You've got to sleep. You've got to eat the right foods. You've got to train properly. Like I said, I can run 31 miles a day for 5 days in a row, and I'm still good. But I'll run 15 miles in the morning and 16 miles at night, and I'll take it easy, during the middle of the day. So there's always a balance. But I do feel like I am wearing a red cape most of the time. It's just
Final thoughts on, let's say somebody wants to start to try being a raw vegan, a low-fat raw vegan diet. What resources do you recommend? How do you recommend they get started?
It's important that you have support. Most people that try to eat this way are going to be questioning themselves daily, if not hourly, if this is the right thing to do. And you need to get around people who have been doing this for a long time, where you can say, look, this guy or this girl's doing it. They've been doing it. They're really successful at it. They're talking from experience. I've got to keep the faith. Don't give up. Don't wuss out. Keep it up. So the way you find that out is you got to check out some websites, whether it's social communities. Of course, before you do that, you got to get the information from a book. So you have to read the book 80-10-10 by Dr. Douglas Graham. Read it twice, read it 3 times. Check out 30bananasaday.com. That's the number 30, and banana is all spelled out, a-day.com. That's a great website. There's thousands of people on that website that are eating or trying to eat this way. There's a website called rawnaturalhygiene.com. That's very similar to 30 Bananas a Day. These are very good resources. You might be surprised. There might be some people that live very close to you that are eating this way or trying to eat this way. With the internet, communication and education is moving real fast, and I believe that this diet is going to become much more popular as more and more people give it a try and start showing all the naysayers that, hey, this is not just an option. This is the option. This is the best way to eat. All the people that talk about, you're going to have problems if you don't eat nuts and seeds, or you've got to have your oil and blah blah blah. Well, I don't know. I don't have all that stuff, and I'm doing great. And they say, in 5 years you're going to have problems. Well, these guys have been doing this for a lot longer than 5 years, and they still don't have problems. So, Dr. Graham's been doing this for almost 30 years. There's some people in Australia that have been doing this, or South America for more than that for I think 40 years. Or look at animals; they don't have their their essential oils, and they don't need all this crap. You don't need it. It's just all a bunch of marketing lies. So fruits and vegetables every time. That's where it's at.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time out of your schedule to talk with me, Michael.
Yeah, I'm happy to share my experience. I'm really pumped about this diet. That's pretty obvious, but I really want to get the message out. I feel extremely, extremely blessed and lucky that I was able to just kind of stumble upon this diet. And I should say that when I first saw this book and I skimmed through it, and I felt like an elitist in the world of diets. I just kind of brushed it off. I didn't even want to open the book. My wife recommended I look at this book. She found it. She said, you should really take a look at this. It looks like some really good points in this book. I laughed out loud when I read some of the recipe options that were listed in this book, because it was, take bananas, cut them up, put it in a bowl, take some strawberries, cut them up, put it in a bowl, enjoy. Yeah. And the guy's serious, that's the meal. And I really thought it was outrageous. I thought it was impossible. And I really started to think about it. I said, maybe this would be, this is an eccentric way that I could try to eat for a week and just see what happens. And the more I read this book, and the more I actually saw, hey, this is not some kind of joke. This is really, really, this really makes sense. I'm going to try this. And the rest is history. I'm going to do this the rest of my life. I'm pretty sure about that.